Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be on this look right here. This is a full face of Wet n Wild. So if you want to see how I achieved this look using all Wet n Wild products, then please keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking this eyeshadow quad, and this is the House of Thorns eyeshadow quad. It has these 4 colors in it. I don't really know. The black came like this, like there was like a little chunk missing right there. I don't really know why, but it wasn't like messy, it was just missing. So anyways, these colors are really pretty, and I'm going to start by taking this reddish maroon one right here. So I'm just going to pack this shadow all over my lid, and I'm not blending yet, I'm just packing it on so I can get it as pigmented as possible. Okay, and now that I've got that shadow all packed onto my lid, I'm going to switch over to a fluffy brush. This is my Morphe M332. And I'm just going to start buffing out the edges and basically just smoking out this shadow using the same color. I didn't switch to a different color. I'm just going to switch my brush over to a fluffier brush, and I'm just going to start using circular motions to blend out the shadow. And I'm going to eventually blend it outwards, kind of like a cat eye shape. Okay, so once I get that eyeshadow blended out nicely, I'm going to take a little bit more of that same shadow. I'm still using the same color, and I'm just going to pack a little bit more onto the lower part of my lid, closer to my lashes, just to kind of intensify any pigment that might have got like a little too diffused. So I'm just packing on a little bit more of the shadow until it's how I want it. Okay, then I'm going to move on to this eyeshadow quad. This is the Bed of Roses eyeshadow quad, and it looks like this. Slightly different colors, obviously, but I'm going to dip into this lighter shimmery one right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my trusty finger and dip it into this shade. Sometimes I feel like using your finger to apply shimmers or like foiled shadows, glitters, whatever, will just help it to be as glittery as possible. So I'm just going to use my finger to apply this right into the inner corner of my eye. It's okay if it travels a little bit onto the lid, that's fine. We can always take the eyeshadow brush that we use and just kind of diffuse that glitter out a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just really want to use this glitter to just give a little like brightness to the inner corner, as well as like make it a little bit more exciting looking, so it's not just one plain maroon shadow all over. I am going to take a little bit of the Wet n Wild coconut primer water. I'm going to spray this little pencil brush. This is my Sigma E30 brush. I'm going to spray that brush a little bit, and then to get a little bit more of a precise application, I'm going to take that same shimmer shadow onto the wet pencil brush and just apply it directly to the inner corner to intensify it even more, as well as just give a little bit more precision. That color is really pretty. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the eyes. I'm not going to do anything too elaborate. I will take my little makeup wipe and kind of just pick up any of that fallout, as well as clean up this area. So before I apply some false lashes, I'm going to go ahead and curl my natural lashes. I'm going to apply a quick little coat of mascara. I always apply a thin layer of mascara before applying false lashes. I just feel like this is going to help your false lashes stick better to your natural ones. And for lashes today, I'm going to be using these ones from Dash of Dow. I don't know what the name is, but this is what they look like. They're very thick and fluffy, super beautiful. Okay, so now that I got my lashes on, these are some big boy lashes. But it's going to look, once everything's done, it's going to look bomb AF. Okay, so anyways, let's move on to the face, and then we'll finish underneath the eyes once I've done my face makeup. So all these products are pretty much new to me, Wet n Wild sent me all of they sent me like 3 different lines in the last like month, so I have like so many Wet n Wild products, and I'm like, I'm gonna just do a full face of Wet n Wild. So a lot of these products I've never tried before, like this one. This is their Rose Primer Serum, so I'm gonna try this as a primer today, and we're gonna see how this works. Oh, so it looks shimmery, first of all. And second of all, it has like a little dropper. It also smells delicious. It smells like roses. So I'm just going to drop some onto my skin like that. And then I'm just going to use my fingers to rub it in. So it's not oily or anything. It's definitely more like watery feeling consistency, kind of moisturizing, but definitely not oily, which is good because I hate oily primers. Definitely making my skin look glowy, so we like that. Gonna make sure I rub it in all the way. By the way, I'm like just getting over a cold, so if I sound kind of congested, that's why. I also haven't filmed for like 2 whole weeks because I've just been dying from a cold. Okay, so moving on. They sent me their foundation sticks, and they sent me 3 different shades. I'm not quite sure which shade I am, so I'm going to swatch them all on my cheek right now so I can find out. Okay, so I'm really like pasty white right now, so I'm assuming that I'm going to be like this lighter one. Yeah, that one looks like it's going to look the best. Even though I hate being like so dang white. That's the medium shade one. The first one still looks the best, to be honest. And then the darker one, I'm going to put the darker one back here. Yeah, that one looks like it would look good if I had like a fake tan. I think I'm going to go with the first one, which is this one right here in the middle, because it looks like it's going to be the best. Which one was that? Oh, it was the Classic Ivory. Dang, I'm so white right now. So I'm just going to put this all over. So I don't really ever use stick foundations. I think the last stick foundation I used was the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So we'll see how this goes. Where's my beauty blender? Oh, I'm just going to use a damp beauty blender to buff this out. I think mine's a little too damp. Okay, so I'm just going to take my damp beauty blender and buff out all of this foundation. Yeah, I don't know if I am going to need more. Seems like it's blending out pretty nicely. I know I haven't ever really been a huge fan of stick foundations, but maybe this one will change my mind. I heard everyone loves the other liquid foundation from Wet n Wild. I don't know what it's called, but I've heard really good things about that one. So I'm hoping this one is just as good. The color is pretty good. I'm just so white right now. It's almost like looks almost too dark compared to like my neck. We're just gonna drag it down the neck though so everything blends. Okay, so I did apply another layer because I felt like I needed a little bit more coverage, and I will say that it is, or it seems pretty blendable. I mean buildable, not blendable. It is blending out nicely. No, but it seems pretty buildable. Like I was able to apply another layer on top of the first one and it's still blending out nicely. It's not like getting patchy or anything. So I like that it's buildable. We like that. The coverage is okay. It definitely seems, you can even see it, and it could be because of that primer serum, but it definitely seems kind of dewy, which isn't really good for me, but it could be that primer. I'll have to try it with like a mattifying primer next time, but definitely leaving my skin looking a little dewy, as you can see, which for me isn't good because I am oily, but we'll see how it wears throughout the day. You really don't know. Sometimes foundations will surprise you and you might end up loving one that you think you'll hate. So it looks really nice on the skin though. It's sitting really nice on the skin. So I like that. Don't like how white I am, but that's not the foundation's fault. That's my fault. So I'm bringing it down my neck. I like the application with the sponge, which is good. I'll have to try it with a brush next time too. Coverage is pretty good. You can kind of see some redness on like this little blemish that I have up here. I would say it's pretty full coverage though. So I look like a vampire, you guys. I'm so freaking pasty. Let's get some bronzer on my face. But anyways, thumbs up. So far so good with that foundation. I like it. No complaints. For a drugstore, less expensive foundation, I feel like it's pretty dang good. So let's go in with some bronzer. That's my little bronzer brush. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with this one. This one is the shade Ticket to Brazil, and this is the Color Icon bronzer. This is a matte bronzer. There is no shimmer in this one, and it's definitely a lighter shade, but it's gonna work for me right now because I'm so pale. So look at that. It's definitely giving me some color. Naturally, I'm very fair, but if I go out into the sun, I will get a tan. But I don't have any kind of tan right now. No fake tan, no real tan, nothing. So I'm just like so pasty white. But it's okay because we have bronzer and it's gonna help us. And I'm just using my Benefit Cosmetics Hoola bronzer brush. I like this for my bronzer. And I'm basically just contouring out my cheekbones right now. I'm gonna take some of this onto my chin just to contour my jawline, kind of just create like a shadow, define my jawline a little bit more. I'm also going to bring this down my neck to give a little bit of color. And then along my forehead, give my skin some life so I don't look like I'm dead. So just adding some color around the face, making sure I blend that into my hairline, trying not to get it on my blonde hair so that my blonde hair doesn't turn orange because that's never pretty. Okay, I'm starting to look better. And then I'm also going to, where's my brush? So I'm also gonna contour my nose a little bit with this powder, with this bronzer. And I'm using my Morphe, which one is this? My Morphe E30 brush. And I'm just contouring the sides of my nose just a little bit. This is gonna help my nose so my nose doesn't look like lost in my face. And also hopefully slim my nose out a little bit because my nose is kind of big, you guys. But I love my nose. You know what, guys? As I was contouring my nose in the mirror, like looking really close at this bronzer, I think I'm wrong. I think there is some shimmer in this bronzer because my nose was looking a little shimmery. So yeah, little shimmery in this bronzer. Okay, so I just used this one. This is Ticket to Brazil, but I'm gonna go in with this darker one right here. This is called Sunset Striptease. And yeah, looking closely, like I feel like it looks pretty matte, but when you look close up, there is a slight shimmer in this. So this is the darker shade, and I'm just gonna take some of this. I like to use two different bronzers just to give a little like dimension. So I'm gonna take this and kind of just go over those same areas and a little bit onto like the rest of my face just to kind of give like a little bit of color without getting too carried away because I don't want to be like orange all over. So just adding a little bit of the darker color as well, like I said, to the same areas, and then a little bit beyond like this, just kind of lightly tapping on the other areas of my face. But see, it looks like a nice contour. I don't like being this white. You know, after this video, I'm going to take a shower and I'm going to fake tan because it's going to make me happier. Okay, so moving on. I don't have any Wet n Wild setting powder to set or bake with, so I'm just going to take my Maybelline Fit Me loose setting powder. This is my favorite loose setting powder, and I think this still counts because it is a drugstore setting powder. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm going to dip my sponge in there, and I'm just going to use this to bake and kind of just cut my contour areas a little bit. I'm going to clean up my nose contour with this powder also, as well as set underneath my eyes since I don't use a concealer. And then I take some up here on my forehead, whatever's left. I don't like to put too much up here, and I don't mind if it goes over my brows because I feel like the powder kind of just sets my brows as well. And then I will take some down the bridge of my nose. I feel like product tends to like slide around on my nose a little bit, so setting this area really helps. Sometimes I'll set right here, but I don't like to get too heavy here because if I haven't waxed my mustache, it'll be like a little cakey in that area, so try and be not so heavy-handed on my upper lip. Okay, so after I let that setting powder sit for like a minute, I go ahead and dust it away. And I'm just using my big fluffy brush from Real Techniques. And I kind of just use like, first of all, I dust away the powder that's like really concentrated in those specific areas that I applied it. And then whatever powder is left on my brush, I'll kind of just dust over the rest of my face just to set my like entire face. but I only want to bake those specific areas. So, and then I'll go ahead and blend out my contour a little bit, especially like if I got it a little too heavy like I kind of did today because I'm so pale. So like any bit of like pigment, darker pigment is gonna look a little heavy. So kind of just buff it out a little bit with this brush, and that looks good. I don't like when my bronzer contour is like too heavy and it looks like a dirt smudge, you know? We don't want that. So skin looks pretty good. Let's move on to... Oh shoot, I knew this was gonna happen. I told myself not to do this and I already did it. Why? I'll explain. Hold on, let me open this. Okay, so for highlighter, I'm gonna use this one right here. This one is called Bloom Time. This is just like a really pretty shimmery kind of pink corally color. Super pretty. It doesn't really smell like anything now. So where's my highlighting brush? So I'm just going to take my favorite highlighting brush. This is the Anastasia A23 highlighting brush. And I'm going to apply this to the tops of my cheekbones. Ooh, that's pretty. It's definitely more of like a pinky tone. So I'm just going to highlight the usual areas like my cheekbones, my forehead, right above my brow, all the high points of my face. I like to highlight my chin, my cupid's bow. And then I'll take some on my finger and just drag it down the bridge of my nose. And then also on the very tip of my nose as well. I'm just gonna buff this out. I love highlighting my nose. I don't know why, but it's like my favorite area to highlight. And then of course on this side also, this highlighter is really pretty. I really like this color a lot. Normally I stick to like the golds and the like bronzy colors, but I'm glad I reached for this one because it's super pretty. Ooh, it's super pretty. Okay, so this is the problem that I'm facing right now. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so for blush, I'm going to be using this one right here. This is a cream blush, and this is why we're having a problem because I told myself to apply this before setting my face with powder, but I forgot. So we're just gonna do this over powder and see what happens. As you can see, this is a black blush, but supposedly it transforms into a berry color. And the color of this is called Rose in Peace. So this is what it looks like. It's literally a black blush. So let's hope and pray that this does turn into a rosy color. And this collection, they also sent me these cute brushes that are like little roses. How cute is this? So I'm gonna use this for blush today. I'm just gonna dip my brush right in here. I'm really scared. I think I'm getting enough. The bristles were already this color, so I can't really tell, you know? Here goes nothing. Oh, okay. Oh, it's pretty pigmented. Look at the, oh my god. It looks way darker on camera. Okay, I'm just gonna smile and apply this to the apples of my cheek. I'm really doing this super lightly and it just looks so crazy on camera. It doesn't look that pigmented in person, but on camera it looks crazy. Oh my god. So, okay. I'm gonna go back in with my beauty blender and just kind of like lightly tap this out. Okay, that's better. This one's a little crazier on this side, but we're blending it. It's so weird because it looks really good in my mirror, but on the monitor it looks so pigmented. It looks like perfect in the mirror. Okay, we're just gonna rock it like this, okay? I look like I'm embarrassed or something. Okay. No, it's actually pretty. And it actually went on nicely, like super smoothly over the powder that I already laid down, so that's good. Happy about that. So let's go back into, where's that color? I'm losing everything. Okay, so we're gonna go back into the eyes and I'm just gonna smoke out that lower lash line using that same maroon shade from this palette here. I'm gonna try and do this very carefully because I don't want to get any fallout onto my face now. So I'm just gonna smoke out my lower lash line using the same fluffy brush that I used earlier. And I'm just gonna connect the shadow so that it kind of just flows seamlessly. We're not doing anything too technical, you know, just smoking out this lower lash line. And because I am so pasty fair right now, I don't want to get it too crazy on my lower lash line. Otherwise I'm gonna look like a zombie girl. And I don't really want to look that way, so I'm gonna try and keep it kind of mellow down here, but still we want it to like tie together, right? So, but I definitely want it to be smoky, and I definitely want to connect this here and drag it up so I continue that cat eye shape that I had going on. All right, perfect. So I'm going to go back in with a little bit of this mascara, and I'm just going to apply some mascara to my lower lash line. I'm not going to put anything on my waterline. I'm just going to leave it the way that it is. By the way, this is the Benefit Cosmetics Roller Lash Mascara. I don't have a Wet n Wild mascara. But I'm just going to pull my lashes this way. I like when they're facing like outwards, especially when I'm wearing like a cat eye type of look. I just feel like it helps the shape flow. I'm also going to do a thin coat on the base of my lashes up here, but I don't want to like ruin these lashes because they're really nice and fluffy and I don't want to get them too like dirty with mascara. So I'm just going to do a really thin coat just to blend my natural lashes with the fake ones. And I'm just focusing it at the base here. Perfect. So I kind of wanted to try this little lip balm. This is like, looks like a really ugly color, but I think it also goes on like a rosy color. Oh yeah, look at that. It's totally, which is not really the color that I want to wear, but I just wanted to try it. So now I know. It is pink. It's just like a lip balm, obviously like a tinted lip balm. But I'm going to apply some lip liner. Where is my lip liner? So I'm just going to apply, I'm going to overline my lips with my NYX Natural Lip Liner Pencil, my go-to, also a drugstore product. So, you know. The products that I didn't have from Wet n Wild, like this lip liner and the setting powder and the, oh shoot, the mascara wasn't drugstore, sorry. The lashes weren't either, but I tried to use all drugstore, okay? Even though this is basically a full face of Wet n Wild, I really tried to like use almost all drugstore. I need to sharpen this pencil. It's so not sharp. It's so dull. It's like hurting my lips because it's so dull. So dull. So dull. So dull. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I'm just overlining my lips, as you can see, defining the shape. I love to do this, especially after foundation, because I feel like my lip shape just gets lost under all the foundation. So I love to go back in and apply some lips, you know? And I honestly feel like lips and lashes. Lips and lashes just make your whole look. I mean, sometimes that's all you really need is lips and lashes. Okay, I need to get my lips filled again so I don't have to overline them so much, but they have dissolved. So we're just gonna continue overlining for now. Okay, and for lipstick, I'm gonna be using this one. This is the Mega Last Liquid Cat Suit. This is a high shine lipstick and it is in the shade Send Nudes. And I've tried this one before and it's amazing. It's not a liquid lipstick. It is more like a pigmented lip gloss, but it says it's a lipstick. So my point is that it doesn't dry down. It doesn't get like matte. It kind of just stays glossy, but it's not like a sticky gloss, if that makes sense. So it's definitely not super sticky, but it's like not a matte liquid lip. Definitely in between like a lipstick and a lip gloss, I would have to say. But it says it's a lipstick. This color is just like so pretty though, and it's totally a color I'd wear. So this is definitely one of my new favorites, and it now lives in my purse because I use it all the time. So we're pretty much done. Oh, here it is. So I'm going to go in with this 3-in-1 primer water. This is a Prep, Set, and Refresh. This is the coconut one. There is 3 flavors or 3 different fragrances, including this one. I think there's also a rose one and a cucumber one. But I'm going to use the coconut one because I love the way coconut smells. It smells like kind of like sunscreen or like tanning oil. But I love it because it reminds me of vacation and I want to go on a vacation. So if I can't go on vacation, I want to smell like a vacation. And that is it for this look, you guys. I'll take my hair out. I'm wearing a Misfits shirt right now. I love this shirt. I just wanted to share with you guys because it's one of my favorite shirts. So anyways, that completes this full face of Wet n Wild. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys like this little look that I created. Super simple, but still looks super glam. Actually, I'm obsessed with this cream blush. I know it looks like a little much, but I really like it. It just looks so pretty. And I'm impressed with all these products. If you don't already know, which I'm pretty sure you do, Wet n Wild is one of those like, I don't want to say cheap, it's like one of those like less expensive brands. And honestly, like one of the first makeup brands I've ever bought anything from. Like Wet n Wild's like the OG for me anyways. Like, yeah, they're like OG. So when they sent me all this stuff, I was like, yes, like, oh my god. You know, I never thought that Wet n Wild would one day send me PR, but now they do. So anyways, thank you went wild, first of all. And second of all, for a drugstore, and especially like being one of the less expensive brands, their quality is really good, and I was impressed by everything. The pigment of the eyeshadow, how it blended out, the foundation, the blush, the lipstick, literally love it all. So yeah, that was fun to apply all those products. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. You don't want to miss out on my future videos. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!